Welcome in, everybody. We're diving deep today into something pretty unique. It's called The Liat Show.
The Liat Show.
Have you heard of it?
I have.
It's kind of tough to describe. Um,
It is.
what would you say it is?
It's a blend. It's history and culture and personal stories, all about Israeli life.
Yeah, and it's more than just like a history lesson, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's got a real narrative. It's like a story.
And a really unique voice.
Yeah, and a really big reach, too. I think 76 countries and 31 U.S. states tuning in
Wow.
to The Liat Show. But here's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
There's a connection to a prestigious tech university we're going to get into that adds a whole other layer to this.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So how does Liat describe the show herself?
Well, she says it's like a tapestry
Yeah.
of all these seemingly unrelated topics.
I like that.
History, music,
Right.
science, business, art,
Even food.
even food.
Yeah.
It's all woven together.
And it's not just stories either, right?
No, it's more than that.
It's something else.
What do you think? What is it more than that?
She's like an architect,
Ooh.
but like an architect of ideas.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Instead of building, she's building
Yeah, like a unique
perspective.
for the audience.
Yeah, for her audience.
Yeah.
So it's like that friend we all have, the one who can explain quantum physics while they're baking a cake.
Uh-huh. I know exactly who you mean.
It's like you're learning, but
Well-
you're also just like enjoying the ride.
I love that analogy.
And speaking of unexpected connections,
Okay.
we were talking about that secret link to the tech world.
Hooray!
Liat and her father, Nissim, are both graduates of the Technion.
No way.
The Technion.
That's Israel's MIT.
That's huge.
It's a big deal.
Wow.
Super hardcore science and engineering programs.
Yeah, what a background.
Right.
Like you wouldn't expect that.
So how do you think that background influences the Liat show? Well, I think their approach to history and storytelling is probably influenced by their scientific backgrounds. There's that emphasis on evidence and analysis, connecting the dots. You see all that in the Liat show.
Yeah, so it's not just about like reciting historical facts.
Exactly.
It's about understanding the why behind the what.
Exactly. Like, why did this thing happen?
Yeah.
What were all the factors leading up to it?
Yeah, and so instead of just saying like this happened on this date, they're digging deeper into like the cultural context, the social context,
Definitely.
what was going on.
Absolutely. And that's where Nissim's background as an architect and a tour guide comes in. He doesn't just see buildings. He understands how people lived in those spaces, how they interacted with them, throughout history.
So he brings that human element to it.
Yes, very much so.
It's not just about dates and events, it's about people
It's about real people's lives.
and the choices they made.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the Liat show so engaging. It's that human connection to history.
Makes it come alive. It's not just some like dry, dusty textbook.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's like you're right there with them.
It's history you can feel. It's history you can feel.
Yeah. And they weave in their own personal stories too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a good example of that?
Well, one that comes to mind is how Liat talks about the British mandate in Palestine.
Okay.
Instead of just listing like the pros and cons,
Right.
she talks about the impact of things like modernization efforts, building infrastructure,
Yeah.
how those things actually affected people's lives and even cultural institutions.
So it wasn't just about politics.
Right. It was about the ripple effect.
Yeah, how those changes rippled through society.
Exactly.
It's about the human side of progress.
Yeah, the unintended consequences,
Yeah, the complexities.
It's messy.
Navigating change.
Yeah.
Cultural change.
It's a much richer and more thought-provoking approach, I think.
For sure. And I understand Liat is looking for founding members and annual subscribers to support the Liat Show.
That's right.
What's the appeal?
Well, it's more than just a show.
Oh.
It's a community. It's people who love history and culture and ideas coming together to learn from each other and contribute to the conversation.
So it's not just about passively listening or watching. It's about
Engaging.
participating.
Actively engaging.
Yeah, exactly.
So as a founding member or an annual subscriber, you're not just supporting Liat, you're becoming,
Part of something.
a part of something
A
bigger.
community of like-minded people.
Yeah, so who do you think would really benefit from this? Like, who should be reaching out?
Anyone who loves to learn,
Okay.
anyone who enjoys a fresh perspective on history and culture,
Yeah.
or who appreciates a good story well told,
Right.
or even someone who just wants to connect with other curious minds.
I think the key takeaway is that Liat's doing something really different.
Oh, yeah.
She's bridging the gap between like rigorous research and storytelling
Yeah.
between history and personal experience.
And she talks about it as unfolding in real time, like a live performance.
Oh, wow. It's fascinating. Makes you wonder what that means for the future of the Lyatt show, you know?
Yeah.
What does that mean for people who collaborate with her?
That is a great quote for her.
Yeah,
And speaking of the future, we can't forget about Lyatt's YouTube channel.
right?
It's up for a Rising Star Award,
Yeah,
and they need to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month
1,000 subscribers.
to be nominated.
Big push.
Yeah. So if you're enjoying this deep dive,
Yeah.
head over to YouTube,
Hit subscribe.
hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and it's not just YouTube, right?
No.
It's all the platforms.
Yeah, all of them.
Substack, Spotify,
Patreon,
Medium.
LinkedIn, you name it.
It all helps.
Every little bit
Mm.
helps Lyatt grow this community.
It's amazing she's already reached people in 76 countries and 31 U.S. states.
That's incredible.
Really is.
It just shows you there's a real appetite for this kind of content.
Definitely.
The Lyatt Show is more than just a podcast, you know?
Oh, for sure.
It's an ongoing journey
It is.
of discovery and connection. It's this blend of personal narrative, cultural exploration.
And insightful analysis.
Yeah, it's informative and entertaining. It's informative and entertaining.
Mm.
It really makes you wonder, like, where is this all headed?
Yeah.
You know, Lyatt says she's the first of her kind,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see why. It's this really unique approach,
It is.
this blend of storytelling and history and personal reflection.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day.
So what do you think? What does the future hold for this kind of new storyteller?
Well, will we see more people kind of embracing this approach, you know?
Yeah.
This fusion of different fields?
Yeah, I think so. I think Lyatt's really onto something special here.
Agreed.
It's like this way of connecting with people that goes beyond just giving them information.
Yeah.
You know, it's like creating an experience, a shared journey.
Especially in a world where everyone's just bombarded with content all the time.
Right, exactly.
This is something different.
And she's building this community without like relying on traditional media.
Yeah. It's all organic.
It's organic.
Yeah.
It's word of mouth.
Driven by passion.
It's that real, genuine enthusiasm that's so contagious.
For sure.
And it's a testament to the power of like authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people are hungry for meaningful content.
Yeah, they're looking for something real.
They want voices that resonate with them on a deeper level.
Absolutely. And Lyatt's definitely one of those voices.
And she's not just presenting facts.
No, she's sharing herself.
Yeah.
Her insights, her perspective.
That's what makes it so compelling.
It's like an invitation
It's an invitation
to see the world differently
to connect with history in a more personal way.
and to connect with each other, too. That
Yeah.
sense of community is really special.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
It's a reminder that learning doesn't have to be this solitary thing.
Right.
It can be collaborative.
Yeah.
It can be joyful, even.
Lyatt's created the perfect platform for that.
She really has.
So to everyone listening out there,
Yeah.
dive in. Explore The Lyatt Show.
Yeah, go to her website, subscribe to her channels.
Become a part of this community.
You won't regret it.
And remember, subscribing to her YouTube channel helps her get that Rising Star Award nomination.
Every subscriber counts.
Every subscriber counts.
So if you're enjoying the show,
Yeah, show your support.
hit that button.
Whether it's YouTube, Substack, Spotify,
Every use.
Patreon, all of them.
Every bit helps.
So buckle up and get ready for a journey.
Through time and culture and personal stories.
The Lyatt Show is waiting.
It's a wild ride.
Thanks for joining us
See you next time.
on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time.